To the organizers, I must first say thank you for having this inside. I think we all can appreciate that. I'm really happy to be here today, but honestly, I wish that I wasn't. I wish that I was in Washington, D.C. at the United States Capitol, fulfilling my 17th year at the United States Capitol. But no, I'm not. I'm here in Georgia, been all around the country, trying to stop a wannabe dictator. Not my words, not MSNBC or CNN's words, his words. He'll be a dictator on day one. Donald Trump is the greatest threat to our democracy and the safety of communities across the country today. Y'all in Georgia were at the epicenter of his dangerous and extreme attempt to overturn the results of a fair and free election. Trump has spent years attacking former Lieutenant Governor Duncan and even tried to get your Secretary of State to illegally find votes after Trump lost the state. After leaving the White House, Trump has encouraged and continues to encourage political violence. On January 6th, we all remember where we were. You know what you saw. However, you have people led by Donald Trump tell you what you saw didn't happen. What we went through didn't exist. It was a tour. Let me tell you something, it wasn't a tour. Police officers gave everything they had that day. The men and women of the United States Capitol Police, the men and women of the Metropolitan Police Department. I'm honored to be standing here right now, but anytime I get the opportunity to give them the credit that they deserve, I give them that credit. My fellow officers and I experienced that type of violence at the hands of a mob of MAGA extremists on January 6th. Representative Kinzinger talked about it. These individuals were there. There were enough people there that day who believed the election was stolen. They told us while they were beating us with police, with thin blue line flags, with don't tread on me flags, with American flags. They were beating police with them, saying the election was stolen. Donald Trump sent us here. That's why I feel confident saying that Donald Trump is solely responsible for the events of January 6th. Because as those rioters were beating us, they told us the reason they were there is because of Donald Trump. His deranged, self-centered, obsessive quest for power is the reason violent insurrectionists assaulted me and my brave colleagues. Officer Brian Sicknick, January 7th, succumbed. Officer Sicknick's father, Charles, said it best. Trump is the reason my son is dead. Trump does whatever will get him votes and helps only Donald Trump. Trump has shown us who he is every day for years. He calls the people who attacked our Capitol patriots. He calls the men and women who died serving and protecting this country suckers and losers. He constantly echoes the words of dictators and invokes the language of Nazi Germany, embracing political violence, pledging, like I said, to rule as a dictator on day one, and warning of a bloodbath if he loses. Now, people have said he didn't mean it like that, or, well, that's just bluster or locker room talk. He has told us over and over again what he says, and it's up to us. We only have ourselves to blame if we allow him back in the White House again. He doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt. Oh, he meant this. He tells us what he means. The stakes of this election are too high. Even lifelong Republicans are putting aside their party and supporting President Biden. I'm so proud to be here alongside Congressman Kinzinger, who also saw the effect of Donald Trump's encouragement of political violence. I'm really happy to be here with you, man. It means a lot to me. Congressman Kinzinger was on the January 6th committee and heard from hundreds of us who were there when Donald Trump inspired a violent mob to attack the Capitol. Unlike Trump, Adams' loyalty doesn't lie with a political party. It's to the nation he swore an oath to protect, and that's why he's here today. He knows how important this election is, and there's nothing more crucial than defeating Donald Trump. This election is a choice between Joe Biden, who will preserve our democracy, our Constitution, our freedoms, and Donald Trump, who is a fundamental threat to our democracy and our country. Americans need to wake up. This is not a drill. Donald Trump is the single greatest threat to the United States of America in a generation. We're sitting here waiting for the Supreme Court to render decisions about immunity. These institutions that I totally believe are worth protecting, are worth fighting for. These institutions aren't going to save us from Donald Trump. It's going to take the American people to once and for all reject Donald Trump at the ballot box in November. And that's how we win. With that, I turn it back over to Adam Kinzinger.